So I actually want to go ahead and talk about this dynamic pricing that is going on in some stores. There is this one post that I did want to talk about because this is what kind of got me looking at it. And I'll go ahead and put it up over here. And it just says, just stopped into Michael's, the arts and crafts store like the Joann's and whatnot. Asked a salesperson what the price was of an item since nothing was marked. She told me it was a new policy. They have to look it up online. Remind me again why I left the house. Yes. So I actually went through the comments on this post, and most people were like, I've never even heard of that. But then it was like some people that said, yeah, I've heard of it. This has happened, where they say you have to go and look up a price online. Why are we doing that? And I remember there was even Walmart that was doing something similar where, like, when you got like the Walmart tag and then they get like that on the tag at the little bottom part, they have like a little ripping portion of it. They would take that off. So let's say it's on a rack and it says $7.98. So you get this item, this t-shirt, this plaid shirt that you think is $7.98. You go up there, you go and scan it, beep, and it says it's like $12.98. There was no price on there because they're taking some of these off. And I've even seen this when I went to Walmart in August. I actually seen this on some of these items where boom, it's on this shelf, but then the tag was off because they want you to just be like, oh, well, I didn't know it was gonna be that much, but since it's already in the cart. Or like some of these places, and I know those bakeries do it too. I remember when I went to New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey, Carlos Bakery. There were no prices when we went. And we were the kind of family where we gotta see how much it costs, because if it costs too much, we ain't getting it. Okay. And we were looking, we were like, well, how much is this? Oh, it's $3.99. Well, how much is this? How much is this? How much is we end up let's just say we had to spend a little bit more than what we would have liked. I was like, why are there not prices? So I know this costs whatever, this costs whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't get that. But now you have regular stores, not like these little small companies, whatever. You have regular stores that are now starting to do this kind of craziness. I think it's absolutely ridiculous because to me, I'm like, if you don't have any prices on anything, why should I get an app? And that's also another thing because you have a lot of businesses like McDonald's, for example. Oh, well, if you wanted, let's say your Big Mac, I don't know, I don't eat that food anyways, but let's just say a Big Mac is $5. Oh, if you want it to be $3, you gotta go and download the app. Why? Why do I need to download the app? Because I'm honest, I'm gonna be real. I think these apps are looking into the other apps and seeing other things, seeing other kind of information they can go and grab. That's what I'm thinking, trying to see like, okay, how do you shop? What do you typically buy? All that kind of stuff. And then try to see if they could go and recommend you something that you need. Okay, that's what I honestly think because I go and look and I'm like, okay, well, why are we doing this? Why do I need to go and get an app so I could get 10 cents off? What happened to coupons? I don't know. Like, I remember we used to watch the Extreme Couponing show that was on TLC, and we used to absolutely love that show. And we would get coupons coming in, then we're cutting things out. What happened to the coupons? There's no coupon pages anymore. Not really. You get a Dairy Queen here and there, but like for all these other places, go and get the app, go and get the app, go and look online, go and look. Well, why am I here? And what I don't understand is this. Do companies not realize that when people come in person, that they are more likely to spend more money? Because I could go online and be like, okay, yeah, that's gonna cost too much. I'll take that out my cart. Yeah, I'll take that out my cart. Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take that out my cart. Okay, yeah, I'll only spend $50. But if I'm in person, I'm spending 75. I'm spending 85 because wait, hold up. Is that a cute little nighttime outfit? Okay, yeah, let me go and grab one. Oh, wait, hold up. Is that a nice little cute little bracelet. I was gonna put this one on earlier, but I was like, let me just wear the watch for this because it matches. But I was like, ooh, is that a cute little bracelet? Okay, well, let me go ahead and let me go and get that. And now your total just went up. You've heard so many stories where people are like, yeah, I went to Target and I was only supposed to spend about $30, but $100 later. I mean, that's how you guys make more money. That's how you are able to also discover new brands. Because you're browsing, the person probably went to the store 50 times, 20 times, whatever the case may be. Okay, if it's a regular grocery store. Oh, you know what? I've been seeing this about 3 times I passed by it. Let me go ahead and grab it this time. That's how y'all make money, y'all. So making people have to go online is just going to make people not want to even be in your store. When I could just go and, I don't know, support like some smaller business. Maybe they don't have a store, or maybe even go on Amazon, even though, but even maybe go on Amazon because they don't have a store. Y'all do realize you're losing business. Let's go ahead and play this video. This one is actually going to be about Walmart having price tags moving around, and I don't like that either. We're going to get into that.
God, look. These price tags started updating right in front of me. This is crazy, dude. Oh my God, that cup went up in price. I wish I would have... I had to, like, get my camera going, right? So there was a delay. Dude, this was under $2. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was like $1.98. Now it's $2.18. But like... Oh, wait. Did that just go down? I'm trying to see if I can catch it on camera. I've never been in a store and actually watched the price of something go up right in front of me as I walked up to buy it. And now it's glitched out and it isn't showing the price anymore. I'm not sure what's going on here. All the rest of them seem to have stabilized. Maybe they heard me talk, and is this going to go down again? Nope, it still says 218. Okay, well, that was crazy.
All right, so as you just seen that, absolutely crazy to me that you got prices moving up and down. I don't like that kind of stuff. What I do want to do is the person, or I guess the group, the page that went and posted it, they had some information. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the side, and I'll go ahead and read it aloud. It says, breaking: Walmart's new price tags change price. Here comes algorithmic price gouging. What happened? Walmart's testing now digital price tags, and shoppers are already seeing them flicker as prices change in real time. Some people even call prices going up right in front of them, like what we saw here. This could be the start of dynamic pricing in stores where prices shift, like airline tickets or Uber rides, right as you shop. So like in reference to like airline tickets, that's why people go and say, okay, if you're gonna go ahead and buy a ticket, put that on incognito mode. And let's continue. It says the positives. Yes, it helps employees update prices faster and saves time. It can also mean quicker discounts on items close to expiring. But here are the concerns. Here's where it gets dark. This tech allegedly opens the door for real-time tracking. Your phone's IP, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth could be used to track where you are in the store and change prices based on your purchasing history. You walk away from a product, come back later, and boom, the price might quietly jump because the system thinks you're more likely to buy it. It's digital profiling, and it's creeping into the grocery trip. Without laws to stop it, we're heading for personalized prices where what you pay depends on who you are and what data they've got on you. I'm not a huge fan of all of this kind of dynamic pricing. I really don't even like those digital, like if you go to like a fast food restaurant and they have those digital menus, because then they be putting like their own little commercials on there. You know what I mean? Like they be putting on, oh, look at this burger and look at it flash and look at it. Y'all, where's the value menu? I mean, what is we zooming out here? Okay, so for me, I'm like, I don't want to look at screens. Just put up the dang. That's why I like those places where they got like though it's like a whiteboard and then like a white board. And then they have like those black little letters, like those magnetic letter things. I like those, okay? Or when the food good, when they got a chalkboard and they Okay, you thank me later. But all these little fancy, moving menu. Oh, hey, if you want to look at our menu, like I was at the airport. I was coming, I want to say I was coming back from New York. I was at the airport. Tell me why. We're sitting at the bar. We had like, I think, yeah, because we had a layover. We had a layover. Okay. This was about 2.5 hours. I said, all right, now. But anyways, but I was like, okay, cool. We can go and get something at the bar, get my little margarita or something, right? I said, where's the menu? Oh, it's on a QR code. Okay. I'm trying to scan this thing. For some reason, the QR code was not one to scan. So I'm over here trying to scan this thing. It took 5 minutes to get the menu open when you could have just handed me a paper one. So I'm like, okay, let's try. And then the internet was working a little slow in this area. I was like, but you're just making, my whole point in all of this is like, you're just making the buying experience more strenuous on a customer. You know what I mean? You're making the buying experience more strenuous, annoying, difficult, and unnecessary onto a customer. I guess I'm a little confused as to why we have to make a customer work harder to support your business. Anyways, I did want to go ahead and switcheroo over to Mr. Uber Eats. So I'm gonna put a little tidbit up over here first so we can get a little bit of background on this. So the person was buying food on Uber Eats and the app says this price was set by an algorithm using your personal data. She's gonna put in a video. It's gonna be really small, so that's why I'm reading out loud. So it's gonna say the price was set by an algorithm using your personal data. A law in New York now requires companies to disclose dynamic pricing. Uber Eats is using algorithms to charge people more based on their data. Okay, and we also know, before I continue, we also know that I believe it's definitely Uber, but I'm not sure if it's Lyft. I think it's both of them, honestly. But you had Uber and Lyft that were using your phone battery, like the percentage, like how much juice you have left, and they're up in those prices. Mind you, the driver ain't getting paid more. Okay. That's not how that's working. So they're up in the prices because they're like, okay, if your phone battery is at 20% as opposed to 90%, or if it's at 15% as opposed to 70%, your phone's gonna die. So we don't want you to be stranded. Just go ahead and buy it right. Y'all, let's go ahead and play this video.
Yeah, so tell me how I was about to order food on Uber Eats, and as I'm about to check out, I noticed this disclosure, which made me pause. I was like, huh? What do you mean an algorithm is determining the price that I am paying for based on my personal data? Huh? Anyway, apparently I was under a rock somewhere because this law just passed where companies now have to disclose if they are using algorithmic pricing, which means Uber's definitely wallin and choosing to charge people more for food at such a horrible time in our history also. But like, charging someone more or less for food based on their data is absolutely sick. Like, I am so appalled that this is where we are as a society. What is going on?
I don't understand why, just because, let's say my phone battery is whatever it is, that now you are allowed to go ahead and charge me more because you went and looked at my personal data. I mean, what does that even mean? What did you look at? You know what I mean? Now you're gonna go ahead and charge me more, or you're gonna charge me less. And some people may say, "Oh, well, you're gonna charge less." If the food costs $20, it's 30 because all them damn fees they be adding there. But the food is $30. Why am I being charged 35? And why are you being charged 28? If the food's 30, the food's 30. Period. For me personally, I've been so over the door dashing and Uber Eats. The last time I did it, and I'm gonna be honest, right now, in my recent times of using the apps, I've only used it when I'm like out of town. because what are we doing? Which to me is absolutely ridiculous. But what we will go ahead and do is shift gears. We're seeing how prices are changing. Okay, got the dynamic pricing. This one isn't dynamic pricing necessarily, but it is Target saying, y'all, we want to help you out. We understand the holidays are coming. They're around the corner. We get it. Don't tell anyone. We've lowered our prices for you. Let's take a look at this.
Target is dropping prices ahead of the holidays. The company announcing reduced costs on 3,000 food, beverage, and essential items starting this month. Target is also bringing back its Thanksgiving meal at its lowest price ever. The deal gives customers a complete dinner with all your holiday favorites for less than $5 per person.
So y'all telling me that y'all could have dropped these prices a long time ago. But we already knew this. It was Target, Walmart, the Sam's Clubs, Amazons. I mean, it was all these kind of places that they had their prices higher because they said, well, why not? If I could go and gouge and make some money, more millions, more billions, why not? And then that's what was going on. And then they were like, and this happened last year. And they said, oh, well, let's just lower the prices. I think if we lower the prices a little bit, it would help. This happened last year, so they're doing it again. So that overinflated them eggs that cost like $5, okay? Them eggs that cost $5. Now they're saying, oh, they're $3. You go to HEB and get them for $2.79. Child, it's almost as though these companies don't want you shopping here. They're like, I'm gonna just keep exploiting. I'm gonna just get as much from you. I'm just keep extracting. And then when you're left, they're like, ugh. Now they're like, oh, well, I mean, we could give you, I know you overpaid by like 35%, but we could lower our prices by 5%, okay? And we got you. We're the hookup for you. I don't get it personally, but because these companies don't care. Okay, they just worried about all that money. They ain't worried about you personally. But let me know what y'all think about this down below.